Thank you for joining us once again on Dojo Live. Today, Wednesday, the 27th of March, 2019, where we talk about the future directly from those who are creating it. My name is Kim Blantis. I'm broadcasting live from one of Nearsoft's offices in Hermosillo, Sonora, Mexico. Joining me are two of my teammates, the regulars here, Carlos Ponce and Tulio Zaragoza. Hi, guys.
Hey, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So today we're going to be discussing cryptocurrency and more specifically, the business value of blockchain. Here to tell us more about this is Scott Mairs, the CEO of Blockchain Business Solutions. Welcome to Dojo Live, Scott.
Glad to be here.
Perfect. Thank you. So Scott, to get us going today, why don't you please share us a bit more about yourself as well as your background?
Sure. So I started my undergrad graduation with Citibank's executive training program. So I had the pleasure of doing a 4-year program with them in technology and opening Citicorp's technology center for object-oriented and advanced technologies. So I had an opportunity to really get some great fundamental training. Got to work on projects like a global customer server, replacing our general ledger, supporting the European monetary unit implementation across Europe. So really got involved with currency and governance and global trading, because I did a big project as well around global trade finance early on in my career. So really hardcore technology, and I've helped now 5 companies go through exits to EMC and Accenture and another number of other companies, and also done a lot of work in merger and acquisitions with Bowman's Bank and Barnett Bank and Nations Bank and Bank of America. So long background in fintech, started hardcore technology, got a master's in project management, and then my MBA in international business.
So you're like the currency guy.
Yeah, started with fiat currencies and graduated to now a lot of work in blockchain.
All right, perfect. We have to come up with a cool nickname for you, I think. So let's talk
Sounds like a
specific.
rock star to me.
I know. Do you have a nickname out there? I mean, if you do, please share.
None that I can share online.
Sure you can. We're pretty relaxed here at yourself.
I see you went to Baylor. Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, I did my graduate work in their executive MBA program, and really fantastic program.
Perfect.
All
Well,
right.
Thank you for your time today. But let's move on then to more specifically your current business, which is Blockchain Business Solutions. So what is your product and what problem are you solving?
Yeah, at Blockchain Business Solutions, we do a lot of work with the business side of blockchain. So I'm advising a security token offering company that's tying their Bitcoin, not their Bitcoin, their blockchain solution to mining assets, so asset-backed tokens to mines in Peru and also oil and gas assets. And then advising another company who is raising money in Europe for US real estate investment, also using security tokens. Working with drone companies that are using IoT and blockchain to help first responders get drones over sites before the vehicles can even get there, so the commanders on the first responders can see the site before they even arrive and know what equipment they need, know how to get there safely, and whether they need backups, whether there's people stranded, can test for toxic gases. So a lot of really exciting things happening in technology right now that are really improving the future and the quality of our lives.
Very interesting. Congratulations. We could probably talk on and on about those. We actually had to talk about some drone technology a while back. It was really, really interesting, but we don't want to diverge too much. So before we continue more in this conversation today, I have to admit that I myself, I'm pretty clueless when it comes to cryptocurrency, blockchain, or anything like that. And I know we've had a couple talks about this theme already on Dojo Live, but for those people, those viewers who are like me, clueless but curious, and haven't had the opportunity to watch the other videos yet, can you quickly just give us this cryptocurrency for dummies kind of introduction?
Yeah, I really think about blockchain in 3 areas. So the original use case is cryptocurrency, developed by Satoshi Nakamoto, originally to supersede our current banking structure to allow global payments, low-cost global payments anywhere in the world. And so that was really what the foundational technology for Bitcoin. Since then, there's been Ethereum and other altcoins. Now there's over 2,000 created of different types of coins with different types of underlying technologies, but all built on the original Bitcoin technology stack. Then I think about it in terms of the blockchain technology itself being able to be used for an alternative investment vehicle. So we talked about security token offerings. ICOs were big for a while and have kind of been squashed now because of regulatory issues. But security tokens are still alive and well. And then there's utility tokens, which are either fungible or non-fungible, which is a fancy word of saying they're either all the same or they're all different. So a non-fungible token is a unique asset that has unique qualities and typically associated with a serial number. So a baseball card, right? A one-of-one baseball card or a one-of-one art piece is a non-fungible token. And a fungible token would be something like coins. So any coin that's identical can have the same value, and it really doesn't matter what number they are. And they're minted as a pool, and you can interchange them. So that's really the fancy name for fungible and non-fungible tokens. So the business value, the utility value, the finance value, and then obviously the cryptocurrency that most people know about, which is Bitcoin.
Right. So before we move on, I think we've got some questions coming in from some of our viewers. But before we do that, let's quickly talk about the benefits then. What's the benefit of cryptocurrency?
I'd say the real big benefit is to disintermediate trusted advisors. So you're able to essentially do point-to-point payments without having to go through a PayPal or go through a financial institution. That was really the original use case for Bitcoin. And then you get into other usability, such as, gaming is a really popular one right now. So let's say, and with esports, you have the world championship sword that was used to strike the final blow, right, in the world championship of esports. That sword now you can put on the blockchain, right, and now you can sell it on these open marketplaces like OpenSea and Akomi and all these other marketplaces that have been stood up for. Most of those are built on a standard called, it's an Ethereum standard called ERC 721, which is a unique deed of trust that you can associate and tie to any digital, physical, or what we call hybrid products. So you've got a lot of things that are going on right now that are creating new types of businesses and new types of digital assets that weren't possible before because the requirement of a third party to manage authenticity, manage chain of custody, and now with especially the collectibles industry, we're able to do that with certainty now and open on the public on a blockchain that anyone can track and monitor and see its current ownership and its whole history of every transaction that has taken place. So who all owned it in the past. It's a very fascinating thing in the world of trading and the world of
It is fascinating. It makes me laugh because I remember several years ago, if you watched The Big Bang Theory at all, there was that episode where like Sheldon's weapons or something get like stolen and he goes to get them back. So that's now becoming like a real, like a monetized element.
Scott,
yeah, absolutely. And the interesting thing is, right now, all these billions of dollars are being spent on these games like Clash of Clans and Clash Royale, but as soon as that publisher turns that game off, all of your investment is gone.
Right.
My son actually played a game launched by Disney called Toontown, and hundreds of thousands of kids all over the world played this game called Toontown. It was a safe environment for people to play simultaneously with characters and become a cartoon. Very, very famous title. Well, Disney shut it off one day and started to refocus their investments on Club Penguin and shut down Toontown. Well, there was a huge uproar, and all these kids that invested this time and money and built their characters and their worlds out, all of it went away. My son was a big player in that game, so he called me one day and said, "Hey, Dad, CNN just called, and they want to interview me, and I need my parents' permission because they want to talk about the impact of this game shutting down by Disney." And what happened was a group of people got together and decompiled and rebuilt the code from scratch and relaunched it as Toontown Rewritten.
Wow.
And so now there's still thousands of kids playing it, and Disney is sort of quietly allowing it to happen as long as it follows within the guidelines that they developed. And he's become a Twitch partner and a Discord partner, and he's doing some cool things with it all around the gaming world that became possible. And they're not using blockchain, but that was the reason why all this time and effort and Discord and all these other games that are being launched right now. If you invest all this money and they shut it down, you've lost your entire investment. So now if you can take that forward or bring a sword from one game into the next game, and a future upgrade or a new title, or you can just own this as a collectible. It's a fascinating new entire ecosystem around digital assets.
Hey, Scott, I have a question. I'm actually really curious. You mentioned a few projects you're working on, some amazing companies. I like the emergency responder technology. Why would I want to raise capital through a cryptocurrency versus the traditional method? What's the pros of doing that? And what are the challenges around that? What are you seeing?
There's a couple of things. So early on, the ICO world was, I don't have to deal with the SEC, right? I mean, quite frankly, getting a listed product, going through an IPO process, very expensive, lots of regulations, lots of ways you can mess up. So essentially it was crowdfunding on steroids, right? So anybody could buy coins at any level that previously